Wellness Rhythm Show. Find your rhythm. Live your wellness.
Y'all, let me tell you something embarrassing. Last Tuesday, I'm sitting in a school pickup line, completely still, not doing anything stressful, and my heart is just pounding. My shoulders are basically touching my ears, and I realized I'd been quietly worried all day and I hadn't even noticed.
That's actually a perfect description of what researchers call sustained background anxiety. And here's what struck me when I started digging into this. The body doesn't really distinguish between a tiger chasing you and a deadline you're dreading. Physiologically, it's running the same program.
Which is wild when you think about it. Because most of us aren't fighting tigers. We're fighting inbox zero and did I say the wrong thing in that meeting?
Right. And that gap between the threat being gone and the body standing down, that's exactly where chronic worry does its damage. That's what we're unpacking today.
So let's actually define what we mean here, because anxiety gets thrown around a lot. We're not talking about an anxiety disorder diagnosis today. We're talking about that low-level, persistent worry that a lot of people in our audience are living with.
Precisely. The American Psychological Association makes a useful distinction: anxiety as a clinical condition versus anxiety as a chronic stress response. We're firmly in the wellness lane today, but the body level effects, those are very real either way.
Here's the thing, though. I think a lot of people in our audience, especially those in the sandwich generation juggling kids and aging parents and careers, are walking around with this baseline hum of worry and just assume it's normal.
And statistically, it is common, but common doesn't mean harmless. Let's dig into the research here, because this is where it gets genuinely interesting.
Please, yes, because I needed someone to explain this to me in non-scary terms.
Right, so here's what I've learned. When you worry chronically, your body keeps triggering what's called the HPA axis. That's the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis. It's your stress response system, and it releases cortisol.
Cortisol, the stress hormone everyone's heard of but maybe doesn't fully understand.
Right. In short bursts, cortisol is useful. It sharpens focus, mobilizes energy. But when it's chronically elevated, research published in the journal Psychoneuroendocrinology shows it begins to suppress immune function, disrupt sleep architecture, and promote systemic inflammation.
And inflammation is basically the villain origin story for a lot of health issues.
It is. Dr. Sheldon Cohen at Carnegie Mellon has done compelling work showing that people under chronic psychological stress are significantly more susceptible to common illnesses. Their immune systems are literally less responsive.
Okay, and can we talk about the gut for a second? Because this one changed everything for me.
Go on, yes.
I used to get stomach aches every time I had a stressful week, and I thought I just had a sensitive stomach. Turns out the gut-brain axis is a real documented thing.
It absolutely is. The vagus nerve connects your brain and your gut directly. Dr. Emmerin Mayer at UCLA, he literally wrote the book, it's called The Mind-Gut Connection, has shown that chronic stress alters gut microbiome composition and can contribute to issues like IBS and poor nutrient absorption.
So my nervous stomach wasn't just in my head. It was in my head and my gut, and they were talking to each other.
Brilliantly put, actually. And here's where it gets relevant for our pre-retiree and older listeners specifically. Chronic worry has been linked to cardiovascular strain. The American Heart Association has flagged psychological stress as an independent risk factor for heart disease.
That's not a small thing. That's not, oh, stress is bad for you, vaguely. That's a concrete, documented risk.
Correct. Research from the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that high anxiety levels correlate with increased rates of hypertension and coronary artery disease. It's not just correlation either. The mechanisms involve inflammatory markers and autonomic nervous system dysregulation.
Y'all, if you're getting anything out of this episode, please hit like and subscribe so we can keep bringing you conversations like this one. Because this is the stuff that actually matters for your day-to-day health.
Now, I do want to address the skepticism here because I think some listeners might be thinking, right, but isn't this just saying stress is bad? I already knew that.
Ha, fair.
And yes, but the nuance is in the mechanism. Most wellness content tells you to reduce stress without explaining what's actually happening in your body. When you understand the HPA axis, the vagus nerve, the inflammatory pathways, you're not just vaguely trying to be less stressed. You have a specific biological target.
Right, and understanding the why makes me way more motivated to actually do something about it. Here's the thing, though. I want to talk about the practical piece, because I know our listeners are busy people.
Let's do it.
The intervention that has actually moved the needle for me, and there's solid research behind it, is what Dr. Andrew Huberman at Stanford calls physiological sighing. A double inhale through the nose, then a long exhale out the mouth. It directly activates the parasympathetic nervous system.
Right, and the research supports that. A 2023 study in Cell Reports Medicine from the Huberman Lab found that cyclic sighing, done for just 5 minutes a day, produced measurable reductions in anxiety and improvements in mood, outperforming other breathwork and even meditation in some metrics.
5 minutes. That's pickup line length. That's waiting for your coffee length.
Which brings us to the accessibility point. These interventions don't require a retreat or a subscription service. They require understanding your own nervous system.
And I'd add, simply naming the worry helps. There's research from UCLA, Dr. Matthew Lieberman's work, showing that labeling an emotion, actually saying, I feel anxious, reduces activity in the amygdala. The threat detection part of your brain literally calms down.
Affect labeling. Yes, genuinely one of the more elegant findings in effective neuroscience. The act of articulating the feeling changes the neurology of experiencing it.
Which is why journaling, talking to a friend, or even just saying out loud, I am worried about this, is not soft. It's strategic.
I'll admit I was skeptical of journaling for years, seemed rather navel-gazy, but the evidence for expressive writing, specifically Dr. James Pennebaker's work at UT Austin, is hard to dismiss. Consistent expressive writing reduces cortisol levels and improves immune markers.
David Park admitting journaling has merit. That's a moment, y'all. Clip that.
I said the evidence is hard to dismiss. I didn't say I enjoy it.
And that's the nuance, right? You don't have to love the practice. You just have to do the practice. Okay, so if you're taking one thing from today, it's this. Chronic worry isn't just a feeling. It has a measurable physical address in your body. And the good news is that small, consistent interventions, a 5-minute breathing practice, naming what you're feeling, a bit of expressive writing, can genuinely interrupt that cycle. You don't need a perfect life. You just need a few small tools and the awareness to use them.
Right. The takeaway is mechanistic, not motivational. Your nervous system has an off switch, or at least a dimmer. The research shows you can access it. Start with the physiological sigh today. One technique, 5 minutes, and you have biological evidence it works.
Y'all, thank you so much for spending this time with us. If this episode resonated, please like and subscribe wherever you're listening. It genuinely helps us reach more people who need this kind of conversation. We'll see you next time on the Wellness Rhythm Show.
And do remember, the goal isn't to eliminate worry, it's to stop letting it run the program entirely. Quite achievable, that.
This show is part of the VoxCrea.ai system. If you want a show like this for your organization without building it yourself,
go to voxcrea.ai and request a sample episode.